Hey guys, welcome to part B of this discussion with the Blanks and my wife. Hope you're enjoying it. Again, don't forget to check out Melissa's blog and her GoFundMe, link below down in the description. Enjoy the rest of this episode.
This is Rudy. He has brain cancer. This series is about much more than that, though. It's about people with all kinds of cancers and serious chronic illnesses who might help him process his own diagnosis. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's serious, but hopefully it's always interesting.
Steve, I wanted to know I can see signs of her kind of getting tired of dealing with cancer in the life, and why can't I have that old sort of somewhat normal life back again, and why is my husband like this? And it's not like I feel like there's any sort of rage towards me from it, but I can see her getting frustrated with it. I mean, do you feel like kind of there's moments where you need to go into the room alone and scream at a pillow or whatever?
The way we pretty much describe it, and she's the one who brought it up the first time, we call it the crazy tree. And each of us is allowed to climb up the crazy tree when we need to. We can't both crawl up it at the same time, otherwise the branch is going to break and we're going to fall. So
beautiful metaphor.
I let her have the crazy tree more than me, because even though we're in this together and we're both playing a different role, I see what she's going through and what you're going through when it comes to the treatments and how you feel as being worse than what I'm going through. I don't want her to see it, just like she doesn't want to see it. She needs to see it when she breaks down sometimes. So I'll take the dog out to the yard and sit out in the yard while the dog runs around and have a minute to basically just sit there and play out all of the nastiest army cuss words I can think of and curse the world. My work is great. They let me leave whenever I need to. Phone rings. I just look at them and say I'm out. They don't question it. I just go straight home to take care of her. But balancing a job, getting her back and forth to the hospital. There are times I feel anger and rage. It's at life. It's at the fact that this is out of my control. Normally when you have a problem, whether it's with your children, your job, your car, you attack the problem, you get it fixed, and you move on. This is we're attacking the problem, but there's
no option.
No option, yeah, no control over.
I feel like brain cancer caretaking is a special kind of hell, and a special kind of place that's cruel, because you can't see what it is that is causing them their pain, and you really can't do anything about it, and you can't, it's really helpless. I'm sure other people feel that same way, but his symptoms or his deficits that have come out after his radiation has impacted us in many, many ways, such as like, I can't really leave him alone with the kids.
I make bad choices.
Yeah. And, I mourn for that, like that hurts, and it hurts from a caretaker perspective, and it hurts from a mother, from a partner, and all these different things. And where people, I have the best of intentions, and some, Cecily, you must be angry. How do you let it out? And I'm like, I have had to come to terms with during this process is I have always grown up, and I've always thought, if you're in a bad situation, you change it. What are your options? And there are no other options except to endure it. That doesn't mean that I have to smile about it. Right? It doesn't mean that I can be angry, but I still get frustrated that there are no options. I would say that is the one thing that I struggle with every single day, is that there isn't anything I can do to make the situation better.
The only thing I can do is the little things, like run to the store and grab some ice cream sundaes, or if she's too cold because her blood is bad, we'll have the house be 78 degrees and I walk around half naked because I'm just sweating the whole time. And just to make the little things, just to make it a little more comfortable.
At least in our relationship, the roles have changed a little bit in the sense that I feel like she takes care a lot of me. I feel like our relationship has changed somewhat in that she's a caregiver. I mean, she's still my wife, and I still feel like we have a loving relationship in that regard, but she's kind of like watching the kid, which is me in this case, taking care of this, making some big decisions for me. I mean, I'm just wondering if, in terms of your relationship, how you kind of navigate that, if you have any feelings like that.
Well, somebody has become very overprotective of me since I had a fall about 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm using a cane now. The way I grew up, I'm just so accustomed to being self-sufficient and doing for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even stand long enough to cook dinner. I have to pull up a chair. And even then that I might not have the stamina to stay upright.
Throughout this journey, there were times when Rudy couldn't get up the stairs and he couldn't walk without somebody holding him up. He needed a cane. He couldn't just take care of himself. And whenever you go and you see that as a caregiver, and of course he's the same as you are. He's independent. He's going to do it himself. And that's been a lot of what has helped him with his recovery. It's, he's going to do it, right? Nobody else is going to do it for him. He's going to do it. But as his wife and as his caregiver, he is my most precious human, and I'm watching him struggle, almost fall over. And even now, like he was walking in the living room a few minutes ago and he almost just toppled over. And I'm like, I need to get rid of this furniture and put new furniture in here so that way he doesn't, like I am always constantly thinking of how to make the house safer and how to make his, experience safer. And it's this constant worry and fear of, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall.
So scary.
It's bad. From the beginning, I started doing everything, cooking, cleaning. She's had 3 brain surgeries last year. So there was a lot of time where she was unable to get up and move around. And yet she would still force herself to say, I'm going to the store with you and I'm just going to lean on the car and let it roll forward, because she refuses to use the little electric ride around one.
Yeah.
And so every time we would stop, I'd have to put my foot under a wheel so it wouldn't roll away with her leaning on it. But it was that spite of saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get up. And I would let her, and then I would come home from work one day and find the dishwasher half full and ask what happened. And she'd say, I started to load it, and then I got tired, so I went and sat on the couch, and you could finish it. So she tries, because it is good to try. But when she actually had the fall, it was a very minor fall. But for the next 24 hours, it was night and day. It was like somebody walked in the room, just turned out the lights. She was bumping into walls. She couldn't reach for a drink cup. I went into super protective mode.
Melissa, I know, for me, I don't want to fall. I don't want to have these things happen, but my balance is not great. I want to improve it. And the only way to improve it is to get up and move around. But then that creates risks. I feel like I'm safe. I'm sure you feel like you're safe when you take some of these chances, even if you're not. And then your husband's like, no. So it's like this battle of someone being overprotective, like my wife gets sometimes with me, where it's like, can back off a little bit. I can handle this. I may have wobbled a little bit when I got up from the couch, but what the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to fall back on my butt on the couch. So
he hates it whenever I call him out. Whenever I'm like, you're about to fall, he's like, I'm not going to fall. He gets really defensive about his very, very, I don't know what to describe it, but when he's standing up and his whole body's moving,
yeah.
And I'll try to get up and put my hand, same thing, you did that outside today. And I was like, I grabbed his arm and I'm moving stuff up, and he's like, I got it. And I'm like, but do you, I
do the same thing. I feel like I spend a lot of time I'm okay. No, I'm fine. No, it's fine. I'm okay.
I think that's the hardest tightrope, and it's kind of one of the really hard issues to navigate as a caregiver, a spouse, is you care, so you want to be there for them, but you have to give them a little bit of rope. And that means that I might put my hand down, but I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to try to be nearby, because you got to be careful, but you also got to let them do something on their own. We're starting to learn, I can tell when things are worse and when they're not, so that I can see it in her eyes.
Absolutely. You always see it.
It tells me what's going on. And sometimes I'll be like, no, it looks like your dimmer switch is down, so I'm going to be here and do everything.
I always think you can see it in the eyes and the color of the skin, it depends on what he's doing but the color of his skin is. If he's really red or if he's pale, I'm really on alert. And I always encourage him those times, why don't you lay down? Why don't you just relax, and you don't need to worry about this and don't worry about that. And he will fight it a little bit, and then he usually kind of gives in. And I'm like, you look really like crap. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to politely tell you, you look like crap right now. But for him, he's so mentally determined that he's going to not let it, succumb him in that moment in time, that he's going to fight it. And it makes the role of being a caregiver just so exhausting.
And I'll admit, I get irritated with her sometimes when she gets like, go lay down or go in the other room or whatever, because it's like, I feel like I'm being defeated in a way. Yeah. Even though maybe it is the best thing for me, but it's not what I want it to be. So, give brat and complain.
It's admitting that weakness and trying to stubborn your way through it and be like, I don't need a nap. I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you, good for you. Because what I have heard from his doctors and what I've seen from him is it is that stubbornness. It is that I'm going to set myself a goal today, and I don't care how bad I feel, I'm going to meet that goal that I feel like really sets you apart, and it really gives you that gusto and that fight. And I think that's beautiful. So I say, do it.
Do you feel like in some ways cancer has made your marriage stronger? Like, I know for us, I feel like it has. I mean, she's literally saved my life twice. And so I feel like, I've entrusted her in the biggest way possible. She has taken care of me when I've been at my absolute worst. Also, too, I just don't care about a lot of things. It's only the most important things do I care about. And so in that sense, I feel like it's made our relationship stronger, and that, I don't care that she likes some really horrible music. And she insists that Texas has the best Mexican food when it's obviously California. Stuff like that doesn't really matter.
Hopefully it didn't matter before, but I think it did. I think he was definitely holding those things against me.
We've had to be stronger.
Yeah.
Because at least for me, like I had said, I have been so accustomed to being independent and self-sufficient, and so people would think this would sound weird, but before all of this, I would say I don't need him. I want him.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I could live without him. I'm here because I want to be, and it might sound cold, but that's always how I felt, and I've told you that before. Like, yeah. I don't like. I have an ex-husband. I didn't need him, but I also didn't want him, and that's why he's an ex. But now it's hard to even, it feels like weakness almost to say, well, I do need him because I need help up the stairs. I need help off the kitchen floor. I need help all day long. So it's weird to have changed that perspective from, I can do this myself, I'm independent, I'm fine, I'm not independent anymore. And so I think this has made us stronger. It's actually made me grow and learn that it's not weakness.
Or you could be like my wife, who just earlier today suggested that I was only with her for her insurance. Because
Melissa, I could say that I thought I'm very similar to you. With Rudy, different than relationships I had in the past, it was I want to be with him, not I need to, I'm even going to struggle with me, even saying it now, but like, I need you in my life. Like, you bring happiness to me. I know that even now in this day, there's nobody who I want to have by my side other than my husband. And I hope that he still is with me for more than the insurance.
I was going to say, the real joke is that she went through all these crappy relationships, including a bad marriage, to wind up with me, a dude with brain cancer. On that happy note. Did you enjoy the video that you just watched? Then please share it all over social media.
And while you're at it, could you also go ahead and subscribe to the Brain Cancer Diaries channel that you're on right now here on YouTube?